Welcome. You are in an area of the internet where sexual education and experience collide with the mandates of the self-proclaimed moral majority.
Where the average person can explore and discuss interesting and pertinent sexual and kinky activities and learn to incorporate them into their daily lives.
All without feeling the wagging finger of shame pointed at them from atop the mountain of righteousness.
This is K101, your peek behind the leather curtain for all questions from the BDSM, fetish, kinky, swinger, and other sex-positive lifestyles.
Psh, I got this. Hey, you know what? Sex and love, it's all about the brain, right? Like, women look at me on a regular basis and they go, it's all about like that sexual, like you want to have that connection before you make that, like it has to be connection. And then when you kind of go for the connection, there's always the thing. And there's like just, there's so much, you know what? Let's talk about it.
The K101 podcast is intended for an adult audience, exclusively for people who are both mature and intellectually self-aware enough to comprehend the gravity and the responsibility of the sexual content contained in the discussion that follows. Those under the age of 18 are requested and expected to discontinue this feed now.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Duh. You guys are absolutely going to dig this. Thanks a lot for joining the K101 podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Non-Vanilla Trist. Whew, man.
It's like herding cats every time.
Hey, it never fails. But the cool thing about this show is if you've hung out here long enough, you know, that's when all the fun stuff happens. All right. To my right, your stage left, way over in the quasi-dungeon area, quasi-bar area, that there's no bar now, but we still have Christmas lights, even though, look, Cersei and Knots always dressed wunderbar.
Jingle my bells.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, how you doing? I like your necklace accoutrements. What is that? I can't see.
Puppies.
This is a
I see colors, so I'm seeing jade. Is that jade and topaz?
amber and opal.
Amber and opal. It's very pretty. I like it. All right. Over in the Benage Gallery, Val, how are you doing? You can yell. They can hear you.
You're giving me a microphone.
Hey,
Doing very well, thank you.
KMFD Mike will absolutely share the big thing that goes in your mouth.
You're such a good guy.
Wow.
He is a good dude. Everybody knows. I mean, everybody knows. How you doing, dear?
I'm doing good.
Hey, it's wonderful to have you in studio again. It really is. We haven't had Val in studio for a while. Was it different? You were here under a previous name. Yeah. All right.
That's my alter ego.
Your alter ego. And that's not like a religious altar. That's more like altar.
Yeah, like alternative.
Yes, alternative. Not.
But now I'm Valkyrie.
Oh, Valkyrie. Oh, that's right. You goes got Valkyrie in the chat now. Yeah, I like that. Over in the interactive producer chair, the man, the myth, the legend.
The drunk.
The Michael.
KMFD Mike. We don't have a drink rule no more.
The hell?
The hell?
I'm pretty sure we have a drink
I
rule.
told you not to give me a microphone. That is really, really not a wise idea. Because I have no control over
The man, the myth, the
microphone.
legend, my brother from another mother, a sexy motherfucker. KMFD Mike.
Yo.
How you doing, sir?
Do well.
It's wonderful to see
He
you.
literally just did like a Ric Flair imitation.
I don't know. Rick is more
Like,
woo.
no, I mean with his mannerisms.
Spin that around to him. Brother Mike, take your microphone.
Take that away from me before I say something stupid.
Champagne in a hot tub, people. What's up, the motherfucker? I'm Jesus H. Christ, I didn't even try.
KMFD Mike is back. It is good to have you back in the chair, sir.
Nothing going on but the rent, sir. Nothing going on.
You been good?
Yeah, been good. Very good.
We have not had the time to hang out and chit
That is
chat.
very, very true.
We should remedy
We
that.
should remedy that, sir. Of course.
We need us a production meeting time.
We should have some production meeting. I think it's about that time.
It's overdue.
Oh, people. If we have production meeting, forget it. In my video producer chair, running tonight's chaos, or at least doing her best to be making sure you guys get a video feed of whatever the fuck happens. Chapin,
Hi.
how you doing?
I'm okay.
It was
First
kind
of
of
all, the cats.
bumpy to get it started, but I mean that's mostly my fault. I take it right on the chin. There may have been vitamins before the show. But I mean there was food, there was some lateness, there was tardiness, there was
He likes taking it on the chin.
ain't nothing wrong with it. Don't judge me. You don't know.
We love it when Sal's back.
When I what?
When Sal's back.
Oh,
all's
when
well.
Sal's back. I
When
thought it was
Sal's
like I
back.
thought it was like when I tip my head back.
We
Wait,
think
what?
clothing is always optional.
Speaking of
No,
clothes,
we do not. Not when
Meaning
Sal's
We
around.
old guys.
Speaking of clothes, there's
Go ahead.
people in the chat
Totally
as well.
get
Well, I got to get the rest of
Yes.
these guys in, but hey, I'm getting to the chat. Stay with me. You know what it's like here. You know what it's like here.
You don't know us. Yeah.
You know what, dude? If they keep coming back, that's just Stockholm syndrome, and they clearly know it.
It's true.
So it's really
We're
okay.
like Statler
It is
and
so true.
Waldorf. Now you shut the fuck up.
Way over, back behind the soundboard in the
Behind the
what should
fuck board.
actually be the dungeon area, where we keep the man who has to have all of the clothes. Like, I honestly think we
Keep
should
naked
have
people back
Have you
there.
guys seen that episode of Friends where Joey and Chandler get in the big fucking argument, and then like Joey comes in wearing all of every article of
Oh.
Chandler's clothing? I think we should have Sal come in like that one day.
And slowly work my way out.
No.
No,
And then if
No,
ready,
no.
Here you go. Here's the show. Here's the show. Ready? This is a idea from your host. This is a great idea. I love this. You come in with every article of clothing that you own on your body, and we will play strip poker until you're allowed to be naked. That's the only way it happens in this studio.
Can I wear the pasties?
No! Yes! Absolutely! It's one more layer. You can wear as many pasties as you like.
It would be preferred.
Huggy tuggies. Do it. Do
That
it.
is absolutely allowed and encouraged.
Do they have stackable pasties?
How many layers of electrical tape can you get? Like,
Oh, man.
How many layers of X's?
I
Can we make
I
over
went,
those
tape,
nipples?
duct
I
tape,
went
gaff
through a
tape.
dozen rolls of electrical tape today, making looms for the store.
Really?
Unbelievable.
Outstanding.
We have 7 miles of cable going out.
As long as you're wearing clothes, I don't give a shit. That's all that matters to me.
Yeah, because
sir.
I'm in the middle of the audience. I don't think that would go over well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it surely wouldn't.
Yeah, said wouldn't be happy about that.
Mm.
All right. Are we doing this? Are we ready? You
We're
got
ready.
this,
Let's do
KFC
it.
Mike?
Chat?
Chit
We're
chat.
ready.
Oh, right. Yes, we have people in chat. Thank you.
Are you
Shape it.
going to announce the new sponsor for the show?
No, not yet.
No?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. Go.
Okay, we have
I'm derailing my shit.
Red Velvet.
Red Velvet, how are you doing, dear? It's good to have you in the chat.
We have Sir D.
Sir D, our international view. I love being able to say our podcast is international, and Sir D, it is solely because of you anymore. Like our Argentina guy, well, he's home in America now.
Yeah. We have EPE.
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 All right,
1, 2,
hey,
3.
thanks a lot for hanging. Oh, EPE, we've seen that person
Yes.
before. Okay.
Welcome
And we
in. Welcome
have
in.
Miss-
Yeah.
We have Mr. Tiberius.
And Tiberius.
Tiberius.
One day, I know it's going to happen. Tiberius is going to find a Sherpa, and he's going to get an ice road trucker, and he's going to get 5 MRE cases, and he is going to journey from his home to the studio. It may take 5-6 weeks. He may have to carry it
Uphill.
uphill,
Sherpa.
Barefoot.
both ways
In the snow.
In the snow.
snow. Absolutely.
Or lava, I mean.
It could.
Tiberius
It
is in the
literally
snow.
could take months. It could before, but Tiberius would come here. He
Speaking
could
of-
also get in the car and drive around the corner and show up in person.
Because it's literally that
It would
close.
literally take 2 minutes. Dude, I love you so much. I know you're stuck at home.
Speaking of snow, really quickly, my wife is not happy that she hasn't gotten snow yet.
Aw.
You know
She
what?
really wants
Hey,
it
hey,
bad.
you know what? Take her to
Oh,
like,
my God.
dude. I'm thinking of doing a ski weekend in Vermont. Let's just go
30
to
miles
Vermont.
north, she would have had it on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
no kidding.
And Red Velvet tells us that EPE is her friend from Naked Camp.
Yay, Naked Camp.
Hi, Naked Camp.
Friends.
EPE
Yay.
Naked Camp. Yay. Cool. Yeah, I absolutely think. Yeah, let's just take her to the.
I
take
think
her up.
she'd
Let's
like-
go skiing.
I think she'd like to ski.
Yeah, let's take her
I
skiing.
would be very, very bad at it.
Dude, everybody's very
I
bad
would
at the
break
first couple times.
everything.
Yeah, that's how it goes the first time.
Like you broke her earlier. I would break very, very,
All right,
very, very quick.
when I broke Val earlier, that was because of a joke.
Because
And it
what?
was a really good one.
It was.
Now that said, I did steal it from Wall Street. I stole the joke straight up from Wall Street. It was a straight up Wall Street joke. I stole it.
But
I made it like 20 times better.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say. It was way better.
There are times when the next song
That was good.
plagiarized and is better. Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, I absolutely sampled that one. I sampled the good thing and I took it and I made it so much better. I know it was funny because I broke you. It was the remix. Yeah, I broke Val, and even Chapin was like, dude, that was good. I know Sal liked it. A little bit, maybe, just kind of, maybe a little tiny, kind of tiny, maybe a little bit. No, not kind of. No, not even a little. Could be, possibly. No, one day he'll look. Could happen. Anything's possible. Dude who listens, guy whose job. That's his job. Listening to the shit. That's the audio guy. The audio guy. There he is. Hey!
Oh my goodness.
Woo! There he is. There's the man.
What do you
the
need?
man, the myth, the legend.
I totally missed what you were saying.
No shit.
Shit, Sherlock.
How can I help?
Ah, that was outstanding.
I was
Perfect.
actually.
We're good.
I was doing tour prep. But
So, let's hit the video. We have a video for you guys tonight. There was.
At which timestamp?
now I got to go back and listen to the show.
Yes. It'll be the first time in months. It'll be cool.
Where do you want to jump in on?
I
So
think we
what's
should
the
start right.
timestamp?
So no, I think we're just actually going to kind of open. You know what? 129. We're gonna. This is a video. It's from Big Think. It's who's in the video? It's Helen. What's her name? It's in the title. Cam, if you might come.
Helen Fisher.
Helen Fisher. Thank you, Dr. Helen Fisher.
Helen Fisher.
It's a Big Think video from Helen Fisher. Guys, we're going to listen to it, get kind of reaction video, but I think we're going to discuss it. I have a couple timestamps we're just going to jump through. Hang with us. We'll see how it goes. 129, please.
Oh, I got close. Let's turn on the noise. Bring the noise.
Please and thank you.
To never walk around that side of the house because it was a glass house and you could see in. We were never allowed to knock on their bedroom door if it was shut.
Hey, let's jump back to about
a
a minute.
I knew from a small child that when a glass house, and it was thrilling. We had a lot of land.
Are
you
we
could
at
see
0,
the
1,
deer
0?
and the foxes and the possums all around the house all the time. I have an identical twin sister, so I always had somebody to play with.
All right, so in this video, she's talking about
My father and mother really.
she's studying the brain, and she's trying to figure out where romantic love comes from. I think we should actually just start the video from the beginning, guys. I really do.
Mind was an empty slate, a tabula rasa. In environment just
We'll
filled
just be
up
ready
the
to
brain
stop
with
it.
who
We'll
you
just go all the
are.
way through it. It's an 8-minute video. Hey,
And
Chapin, when we
as
get to
I
somewhere near
sit there
20
and
minutes,
listened to
chop me
these
off and we'll
various
just cut off
academics,
for
I thought,
5 minutes and do it
that's
again.
not true. I thought to myself, if there's any part of human behavior that has a biological origin, it must be our patterns of love and marriage. Because, as Darwin would have said, if you have
Hey,
children
Chapin, grab
and
the
I
link
have
for
no
this.
children,
Drop
you
it in
live
the chat.
on and I die out. The game of love matters. A lot of people think that
Okay, Matthew,
sex
Mike, go
drive,
ahead, pause.
romantic love, and feelings of attachment.
So, this video pops up in my feed. This is how this whole show started, right? Middle of last week, we had a production meeting, and the production meeting goes, hey, what are we going to talk about on Wednesday? And I went, I don't know. What do you guys want to go with? And they went, I don't know. And I went, all right, well, here's a video that popped up in my suggested views, and it was about how your brain does love and romantic love and how you can be addicted to it, how the brain does things. So,
Primordial.
yes, a primordial, because recently I had, shall we say, a heated discussion.
How
About-
heated was it?
It was relatively intense.
Relatively intense.
It was relatively intense.
Somewhere
and
above 60%.
It was definitely, the throttle was in the accelerating position.
This one goes to 11.
This one goes to 11.
Understood.
Understood. So the argument was, this is a need. This is a biological need. It's not just sex. It's not just I need to get my rocks off. It's this biological need of my brain has to be able to give the love that it makes. Right?
An interesting perspective. Go on, please.
Like my brain makes like when I'm with the people that I love. And this is whether you're my friend, you're a romantic partner, you're a family member. If my brain is constantly just generating love, and I want to give it to you. Like you know me, brother Mike.
I'm not staring at you in judgment.
No. I know you're not. No, but I want you to back me up on this.
Yeah, I'm backing you up.
When I see you, the first thing I want to do,
hug me.
I've got to give you the big hug. Get in here. I love you, man. Like
I miss you.
I need to make sure you know how much I miss you through physical embrace. Like,
Yes, you do.
That's not creepy. It's not dirty old man, right?
No, not when it comes from me to you. No, it is not.
No, all right. Because you know me, I know you. There's familiarity. You're my brother. I love you.
You trust me that I would not feel offended by what you do.
Outstanding. Chapin. It is very much the same.
Yes.
You're my girl. One of my best friends ever. Val, you've been my friend 30 years. 25.
Longer every week.
It is 25, though.
It's coming up on 25.
Yeah. Cersei, we've been friends a decade.
Yeah.
Sean, excuse me. Fuck! What do we have?
Wow.
God damn it. It's something nasty, too, isn't it?
Dude, there ain't nothing in here you want.
Well,
That's the
what he's
rule.
right.
Because this is Band-Aids with
Sal, don't be
sweetness
so...
to it.
Oh, fucking A. Sal's bringing me my own medicine. Shit, what is this?
Spicy Band-Aids.
Maker's Mark.
All right.
With an ice cube. It's been diluted a little bit.
Have you learned your lesson?
Hey, Sal!
What's my name?
Say his name. Say his name.
I just broke the host.
The Maker's Mark didn't make me go, huh, but that did.
One snort. Ooh.
That was a big snort.
I got a pre-show snort, so that's kind of too.
Oh, yeah?
0.5. It doesn't
Yes.
count unless it's during the show. That is
It's like
0.5.
if Sarah snorts and nobody hears it, it's
Who?
really a...
Oh!
Philosophy is walk
Hey,
on slippery
apparently Sal has the Maker's Mark.
I'm sorry. I'm out of practice.
It's been a bit. Oh, whoa. All right, so where was I? Hey, Sal, I've known you 35 years, 30 years. It has been almost 35, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely 35.
Wow. It's like you, me, Moses went to high school together.
Okay. Don't drink my booze.
We parted the red carpet.
Oh, dude, not together. Ew. Oh,
Same
different
time,
time.
there's rules. There's rules. Black and white television takes 90 seconds to warm up. Knock it off.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
When you turn it off, the white dot's there for 10 minutes.
That's on me.
Remember that?
What's your point, Mr. N?
I forgot. Where were we?
Oh.
Yeah.
And hugging and
Oh, right. Yeah, I had an intense discussion. It was an intense discussion, and it was really about this desire, this primordial need to be able to give this emotion that I'm creating.
touch is a love language.
Well, it's not even so much the touch. However, I can convey love. I mean, we know that you receive love in certain love languages, but you also give it in love languages as well.
Hugging is showing affection.
Yeah, that's physical touch. I like to give physical touch as much as I like to receive physical touch. And I think the argument was that, no, it's too much. So this popped up in my feed, and I went, you know what? I'm going to watch it and see what validation I can find from it. And that's where I got to hear. Go ahead.
Red Velvet says biological doesn't necessarily require love, and that MM isn't that bad.
Just I was trying to figure out why I lost my earbuds, and it's because there was a microphone stand on top of my cord. It yanked it out of
You
my...
went to courts today.
I'm telling you. All right, I'm back. Go ahead. Hit it, Mike. Okay, Mefty Mike.
Drink, you Shriner fuck. Anyway, where am I going?
What's the next? Or we just
I think we just paused for a minute because the points that I want to get to on this. Go ahead.
You want to take a break? Or
Are
come
we
back?
there? Nah, because it's been
Okay.
so bumpy at this point. Let's just keep going. The first part was at 1 minute 29 seconds. we had the importance of sex privacy. So when I hit you at 129, it kind of bumped us in before that, and then when I had you go to 1 minute, we're still there. So let's just kind of let's go to like 45 seconds. We're coming into the whole she's talking about sex and privacy and her first experiences as to what it looked like. Go there.
Attachment are phases. They're not phases, they're brain systems. I'm Helen Fisher. I'm an anthropologist, and I actually know where love is in the brain.
Oh, she's with Kinsey.
Is she?
That's what I think I just saw. She's with Kinsey Institute.
I really had a wonderful childhood. I grew up in a modern house, a glass house, and it was thrilling. We had a lot of land. We could see the deer and the foxes and the possums all around the house all the time.
I like that. I have that
I have
now.
an identical twin sister, so I always had somebody to play with.
I do not have an identical twin sister.
My father and mother really believed that sex was an important part of a partnership. On Saturday afternoon, we were instructed to never walk around that side of the house because it was a glass house and you could see in. We were never allowed to knock on their bedroom door if it was shut. So I knew from a small child that when I grew up, there were certain things in a partnership that really should work properly.
Good.
They
And
were
one
trying to
was
get away
to
from
find
you.
your partner
Let's go ahead and
sexually
stop there. So do you guys have that same kind of thing? Because when I grew up, I grew up in a mobile home, right? Like I grew up pretty poor, and I knew the only time I knew my parents were having sexy time that was outside of a bedroom, and I didn't know when they were having sexy time in the bedroom because I just assumed when they went in the bedroom and the door was closed, they were in bed, they were sleeping. But when they started taking showers together in a mobile home, that kind of gives it away. And I'm a teenager, so I'm kind of like, hang on. I know how big that is. That's not that big. But do you guys have the same thing, or like what was your first time thinking about that, like with your parents?
I was the fourth of four. I completely have no concept whatsoever of sex with my parents. They never showed it. They were tired of having children. They were like, "This is done."
Anything that even is close to that ballpark.
Yeah. And you know what? I have no clue whether or not they did or they didn't. And I'm okay with this theory.
Same. My parents were so very private and quiet about that. I never knew if and when it was happening. Just
No?
as far as I know, I have. There's me and my sister. As far as I know, my parents had sex twice, and other than that, I don't know. And I don't need to know.
Okay. Chapin? No?
I know for a fact that my parents did not have sex after I was conceived. Yeah, but I do remember hearing a noise that I was not familiar with, and now I know that it was buzzing.
All right, all
Happy
right.
noise.
It was a happy noise.
All right.
And I'm like, dude, is everyone okay up here? And I heard, yeah, fine. I'm like, all right, whatever. Now I know it's like, oh, fuck.
Val?
Oh, is now a time for a story or that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Just get really close to the mic if you can.
Yeah, you gotta get closer.
Okay, so I'll lean way over.
Yeah, don't knock that thing over, though.
So I have a story, a recent disaster story about vibrator.
Oh, no. Hold that. No, hold that story.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah.
No. Hold that story. That's a different
That's for
story.
next week's show.
Yeah, that's the next week's show.
Are we discussing parental?
All right, so that was a teaser then.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, we'll come back to the teaser.
Yeah.
All right. What do we got next? All right.
Oh, Isaac is saying hi, everyone.
Hey, Isaac. Hey. Wish you were here. And you're lovely.
And Red Velvet's parents walked around naked all the time.
I wish. Like I gotta be honest. I know people who live that naturalist lifestyle. They're just like, sans clothes, whatever. It's no big deal. I know people like that.
Clothes are bullshit.
They are bullshit. I mean, I know on myself that they're bullshit.
Naked stand.
It is. It's naked stand. Envy and I had naked stand all the time. And our kids knew to.
But your kids also knocked on the door a lot.
Yeah,
too,
our
and
kids
they
knock
still
on
do.
that. I think that was the point. I think that's why I wrote that down.
Yeah.
I think that was the issue I had with it was she said we knew to never knock on the door, and I have an issue with that. I think that's why I wrote it down. I have an issue with that. I think absolutely my kids can knock on the door. My kids knock on the door today. My kids knock on the door all the fucking time. My kids come kicking in the door. Sometimes they don't even knock. Sometimes my grandchildren just walk the fuck in. That happens on occasion. You just want to shake them, but you don't because apparently that's against the law. You're not allowed to shake them like that. I mean,
No, I can see where, yes, you always want your children to be able to come to you and but at the same time, hey, you know what? There are sometimes, if it's an emergency, yes, come get us. Otherwise,
yeah, I have the door locked for a reason.
yeah, we're taking a little time out.
I think it's less about the fact that they had to knock on the door and more of the fact that there were rules that they put into place that basically said, hey, this is something you don't want to do because I'm going to scar you if you open up the door with shit. So kindly keep that fucking door shut.
I looked at my daughters and it was like, hey, you remember I told you not to touch the stove? I told you not to touch the stove because it's going to burn your hand. Remember how I said make sure you wear a helmet when you ride your ride your bike? Because when you wreck your bike, if you're not wearing a helmet, you knock your noggin. You come stomping in my bedroom door without knocking. Hey, if you burn your eyes, that's on you, isn't it?
Speaking of burning eyelashes.
You know what, smartass? Oh.
Again?
I fired that off a little quick, didn't I? Sorry, Chapin. It's my fault.
It was actually impressive.
Like, what are you going to do about it, huh?
Nothing. It was funny. All right, look. You know what?
Oh, and Abby is here. Abby's in the chat.
Who?
Abby? AB?
Albie.
Albie.
What up, Albie? Albie's in the chat. You met Albie today.
Oh, right. Yes, I did.
Hey, Albie, it's great to have you in the chat.
And if the kids ask, hey, why can't we come to the door? Because, mom and dad are having some time to themselves.
Horizontal mambo.
Because the last time your mother and your father had this kind of happiness, it was how old are you? 8 years? It was about 8.5 years ago. That's the last time I felt this kind of joy. So if the door's closed, don't fucking knock on it, all right? Because it might be the only time.
Right.
Hey, Sal.
It's not that closing the door cuts off all conversation. It's, hey,
How can I help you?
Age appropriate,
Getting some notes that the sound might be cutting in and out a bit. Is there anything on
Sound
your
is
end?
cutting in and out? Well, that's unfortunate.
It is.
We work on it afterwards.
Yeah. We're
Did you
working
pay
on
the
it as we
sponsors
go.
for this?
No, I did not. No.
Well, there we go.
No, they suck. Well, I mean,
Sponsors never
I
suck.
actually heard it's a great product.
the sucking part? Or
Yeah. Sal's nut glaze?
Where-
Oh, no.
I'm not sucking it. So it's not happening. But I appreciate the studio.
You can put it anywhere.
You know what? Time for a good break.
Oh, jeez Louise.
Poor Chapin. She's going through the... You guys can see what's happening on this side tonight. I swear. Hey, you got this. You got this. I'm going to use a head. We're going to have a break. Hit a bunch of bumpers.
Ready?
Sal's Masterclass.
Yeah, got it. Ready?
This break is brought to you by Sal's Nut Glaze.
On that note,
Hey, dude. You ready for the show?
Hey,
Whoa. What happened to your shirt?
well, I was hanging some lights. 2 of them fell down and took my buttons out. Don't worry about it. We'll be fine. I'll get it fixed.
Sure.
I'll get it fixed.
All right. Sal, 30 minutes of show time. Dude,
Hey,
what happened?
I was hanging the lights. Another one fell down, so I had to use my belt.
And your pants are open because...
I leaned over.
And your button shot across the room?
Well, the 3 sizes too small. Don't worry about it. I'll have it fixed by showtime. It's all good.
Okay.
Hey, Sal, Hey! Dude, seriously? What? I'm just working here.
I can't even right now.
What? My name is Sal. This is my master class.
Going out.
It is. It's
Whatever. I don't even care. Go ahead, run it. Oh, I guess we're here. Hey! Thanks a lot for coming back.
Welcome to Now Now.
We're at Now. Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out with the K101 podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Nominal Trust.
It's good with chips.
It is good
It's
with
egg
chips.
slacks.
You had no idea. You had no idea, did you?
I grind up the egg slacks and put it on my ice cream. Mix it with Sal's nut glaze. It's good stuff.
Oh my God, with a nut glaze. Seriously.
Please stop.
I have to finish a show. I'm trying not to chunk.
On that note, Isaac says that kids knocked on the door, heard mommy, thought she was hurt. Mom said, I stubbed my toe. So ask.
I can hear her doing that. Stub my toe.
Ask Faye if we can go stump her toe.
I'm just trying to figure out like how to process that in a kid's head because like later on in life, they're gonna be like, I remember that, and I've stubbed my toe. Usually when I stub my toe, it's ow. It's not like, are you kicking the coffee table? What are you doing in there? It's just...
If I were the partner, I'd be a little upset that they called.
Almost sounds like you're trying to stub your toe.
They're like, yeah, it's not necessarily a toe. It's like a big toe. It's a swollen big toe on a gorilla.
Or like
You
an
seen it?
elephant.
Or an elephant. Well, no, because there's just kind of big tubby nails on the end of this big trunk. Although the girth on that thing would be amazing. All right, and we're moving forward.
That
Go
I
ahead.
evolved
Did you
from
find that
mating and
spot?
reproduction. Sex drive being one, feelings of intense romantic love being the second, and feelings of deep attachment being the third.
All right, so she's talking
And
about
I
three
was
different.
maintaining in
Okay,
that
pause
article
for a
that
second.
these
She's talking about three different brain systems: romantic love, sexual attraction, and attachment. Those are the three brain systems that she's talking about.
all evolved for various reasons. Sex drive evolved to get you out there looking for a whole range of partners. Romantic love evolved to enable you to focus your mating energy on just one at a time. And attachment evolved to enable you to stick with this person at least long enough to raise a single child through infancy. The peer reviews came back, and at least one of the peer reviewers wrote back and said, "You can't study this. It's part of the supernatural."
All right, pause.
And I looked at that and I thought to myself,
Mr. MT, what did you think?
I thought the same thing. She thought bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. So a good chunk of this up to this point has been good little nuggets for the brain, get you all stimulated, and then she goes off into this story for like 2 minutes, and it kind of poos on things. So I want to make sure I bring it back. 4 minutes, 18 seconds. Somewhere in there, she goes into that first part about that there's like a new relationship energy. She's talking about the first brain system. And I just kind of want to go into that. And KMFD Mike, I'm going to talk about it. If you can just find the spot I'm talking about while we go. She's talking about that reward system in the brain. And I immediately likened it to what we now call in the community new relationship energy. Go ahead.
talk to me. And I thought to myself at the time, Helen, this really isn't very important. When you're madly in love with the right person, there's no problem. The real problem is when you've been rejected in love.
All right, see,
that's where I can make a contribution
jump back
to
about a minute.
humanity.
Sorry, guys. I should have had this stuff hammered out. This is the kind of stuff that
Of
happens when
somebody
your
who called
laptop
for
busts.
no emotions, no positive or negative emotions. And when you put the neutral and the romantic love on top of each other and cancel out what they have in common, you're left with what's going on in the brain when you're madly in love. I'll never forget the first moment that I looked at our data. What we saw was activity in a tiny little factory near the base of the brain called the ventral tegmental area. It's a brain region that actually makes dopamine a natural stimulant and gives you that focus, that motivation, the craving, the elation
That's
of
that new
intense romantic
relationship
love.
energy, right?
Yep.
That's that new relationship energy that we're talking about. That's that whole like, hey, wow, I'm so happy that you and I are going out on this date. I am so thrilled that we're doing this thing. Like, how you doing,
I was gonna say,
right?
yeah, when everything is happening for the first time, the dopamine's really easy to find in those activities.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've been with the same person for a while, it's very easy to lose that feeling of this is great. You know, it can become like, oh yeah, this is Tuesday. No, this is still great.
Yeah, it's still great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but it is how you think about it that determines, how much dopamine your brain is gonna produce over that.
I think it evolves, really. I mean, I'm pretty sure that when you like the author here said, there's 3 stages to all this brain activity.
Right.
First one is to go out and find it, and when you find it, and it's there, it's so easy that dopamine just comes out like it was a fresh, fresh open beer. Oh yeah, that's a good beer. And then after a while, you're like going, well, I like this so much, I want the case. And after you had a case, whoa, this is, and then et cetera, et cetera. So having it for a while.
But then you go on a pub crawl with your brother, and you're like, this new beer is amazing. And then you go back home, and you're like, I still have like a 6-pack of this porter that I bought last month.
You figure out what it is that you liked about the original beer. So essentially, your original, what you loved about it, which was the dopamine side of it, changes, and you go, I now know that I like lager.
Yeah.
And I like lagers with you, and you are the one.
Yeah. You know what? I appreciate that. Cersei, you good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hit it. So then so now she comes into rejection. Because here we come into the next stage.
And I thought to myself at the time, Helen, this really isn't very important. When you're madly in love with the right person, there's no problem. The real problem is when you've been rejected in love. That's where I can make a contribution to humanity. Sure enough, I was able to put 15 men and women into the scanner who had just been dumped. I was able to find activity in a lot of brain regions. One brain region is that same basic ventral tegmental area, the VTA, that pumps out the dopamine, that gives them the feeling of intense romantic love. You don't stop loving somebody when they've dumped you. I found activity in a brain region linked with pain. This is a brain region that also becomes active when you have a toothache. But most important, I found activity.
Because that's the level of pain you get. It's that level of, you fucking kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?
I just smashed my thumb with a hammer. It's more like that. The toothache, maybe not so much.
No, it's that toothache is just that dull, persistent. Are you fucking kidding me?
There's other toothaches.
Just from.
There's that, oh, fuck, ow!
Yeah, every once in a while you're like, God damn it! But most of the time it's.
They say that depression hurts physically.
It does.
This is, I think that, God, I can't even count how many times I've gone through it, but you physically feel it. And why does this hurt so much? This is unbearable. It's just a physical pain along with the emotional.
Absolutely.
That are going through your brain, going haywire. But it absolutely is a physical pain.
Sure.
There's also a portion of what it is that she said there a moment ago where that you, just because you broke up doesn't mean you're not in love. As a matter of fact, you're reminded of how much
for
the
first little bit.
I mean, literally, what is it that you've missed? What have I lost? I lost this. This was the dopamine that came in.
Without,
and you get the same feeling that the dopamine came because I remember the love.
That's where everyone's
I struggle with that
girl
regularly. I struggle with that regularly.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. I mean, that's just something that you carry. But even in new relationships, I still feel that too. Like, it is very difficult to kind of carry around a little bit. Like every time you get dumped, every time things don't work out the way you want it to, there's that little bit of, oh, God damn, this is a little heavy. oh, this gotta carry this around. But then when you have like big loss, like when it's deep emotional love, that shit lingers. That'll leave a mark.
That's the question. Are we addicted to that?
Well, her
that-
argument is
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Romantic love is absolutely an addiction. It changes your brain function. It changes how your brain works. It changes how your brain thinks. And I am testimony. I will tell you straight up, firsthand experience. True that. It happens.
When you go through withdrawal.
Absolutely.
It is horrible with a capital whore.
and you chase that source of dopamine. You know, I
I just called her a whore. Oh wait.
Jesus.
Come on, that's
I-
a funny joke.
think about the things, you know, the high school girl age when you got dumped and the things you would do to try to get that person back because that's where all of your joy was. Oh dear Lord.
I'll never be happy again.
I'll never. Yeah, the world has ended. And just the stalk. Nobody stalks like a dumped 17-year-old
Oh, I
girl.
know.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. Just saying. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Mr. Tiberius in the chat says, after we unlocked the bedroom door and went about life after knocking boots, our son would come up to me and give me a high five. Yeah, he knew what was going on.
One thing that I wonder whether or not they discuss in this article, and we should actually post this in the article itself in
Yeah, do we drop the
Yeah,
drop the link
yes,
in the
we
chat?
did.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Link is in the chat for this video.
Do we think that we are addicted to both sides of the dopamine? Are we addicted to the depression side as well as the side of getting to know each other? Because literally,
Depends on how much of a masochist you are.
Well, no, I don't think it has anything to do with masochism. I think it does with the definition of relationship as a whole. Basically, there's a beginning, there's an end, and the end means that there's potentially a beginning. So until I find a new person and I find that new dopamine, the way to be able to stay all happy and high and all that other shit
Oh,
is
yeah,
to
you know what?
stay in that zone.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are people that are like that. You're absolutely right.
Ride the depression surf.
Yeah.
For a little while until you can find the next high.
Yeah.
You surf that
if
low,
you're
like-
yeah, if you don't have that new relationship energy, just keep riding. We'll just keep coasting on this train until
Yeah.
we find the new one. We'll find another wave to surf. Yeah, I know that
really
person
wonder
too.
whether or not that's a defining thing too. The longer that you stay in that depression and the more that you are defined by it, the more it stays in the next relationship.
Yeah, it could just be a whole maturity thing too. All right, what's the next part?
Most important activity I found.
In 3 brain regions linked with craving and addiction. Specifically, is activity in a brain region called the nucleus accumbens. It's the basic brain region that becomes active when you are addicted to cocaine, heroin, alcohol, cigarettes, gambling.
Blowjobs.
And so I was able to prove that romantic love, when you are rejected, is an addiction. I hope the world understands that this intense feeling of romantic love came out of nature. Everybody feels it, and we have to respect the intense feelings of people when they have been rejected in love, when they're happily in love, and when they're in love long term. My colleagues and I have put 17 people into the scanner who were in love long term.
Hey,
These are
pause.
people.
Is it me, or does she sound like she's being all aggressive about that? We put 17 people in that scanner long term. Like, god damn, do they want to be in there? They volunteered, right? Because you sounded really angry about that. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All in their 50s and 60s who were
can't
happily
even fight
married,
back.
in love an average of 21 years. And sure enough, we found activity in these same brain regions. The ventral tegmental area pumps out the dopamine, gives you feelings of intense
Did you
romantic
just call
love.
the ventral
The brain
tegmental area
region
the
in the
insane region of the brain?
hypothalamus
Pretty
linked
sure
with
she
the
did.
sex drive, and brain regions linked with calm and security. So in long-term love, you can remain in love, but you got to pick the right person. And that's what sent me into wondering, why him? Why her? Why are we so naturally drawn to one person rather than another? I don't think it's just culture. I think there's biology involved.
All right. Are we all on the same page? Any thoughts on this part yet?
I would say that it's not entirely biology. You have to come at it with the right frame of mind. You have to work on those relationships. You don't just say, okay, I'm in this relationship with this person. I love them. I'm going to love them the exact same way for the next 21 years of my life. You have to grow. You have to change. You have to keep reminding yourself of things. You can't just enter into it and say, okay, done, work's done now. No, you have to keep working on that relationship to keep it at that level,
Okay.
I think.
Came after you, Mike?
I got opinions on this one.
Go.
I went through a class in high school called What Is, and one of the things that we discussed was what is love. And one of the things that we've discussed is that there's 3 types of love. There's I love you if, which is simply because I will love you if you perform the actions to which you do. The problem is that there's someone that always can do something better than what it is. So if you love if, that's a very dangerous kind of love to which you live by. I love you because, again, a little more circumstantial, but it's more mature. It's more oriented because you're recognizing that there's a service that they perform and it's more specific, but it's still dangerous because if it leaves, it's gone. And then there's I love you, period. It kind of, what she's describing concerning the first stage of this is more like I love you if, and the dopamine is easy. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. The second stage is I love you because, and that's more of the I stay with the relationship. And the last one, for the long term, is I love you, period, is a very mature.
Yeah, I just love you.
Yeah,
period.
I just love you, period.
Period.
But you can't,
I love you despite.
Right. The thing that scares the fuck out of people in more than one case is if they jump stages. We also discussed that. If you go from love to love because, a lot of people get scared and spooked as if you're stalking.
All right. Yeah, I can see that. Sure. I struggle. I think that with that one in a previous relationship where I can see things. I like to see things from. Well, I see things from my point of view, and you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to go into that. That's a story to evade right now.
Conversation that we had recently about telling somebody why you love them and having it be qualities about them as a person or things that they do for you. That's kind of what this sounds like. I love you because you're good to me. I love you because you take care of me. And like you were saying, or
Are we showing appreciation?
Or I love you because you are smart and funny and generous and kind.
Yeah. Are we talking about appreciation? Or are we talking about qualities of the person?
Yeah. All I know is if you say, "Why do you love me?" Those 2 different types of answers are very deliberately different.
Yeah.
And it just kind of reminds me of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Kick it. Oh, and let's have something else. Look, you're going to say something.
No. I mean, and then basically, I look at older people in their 50s and 60s.
Like us.
Like us.
Yeah.
And essentially, they are so familiar with the individual that they're with that it
Yeah.
actually changes what love is. Whatever it was that they loved because could go away, but for whatever reason, they still love. It's something that honestly I don't understand yet because I'm not there.
Okay.
It's going to be interesting.
All right.
Sex drive, romantic love, and feelings of attachment. If you want to maintain a long-term happy partnership, you want to sustain all 3 of these brain systems. You want to have sex regularly, that drives up the testosterone system, so you want more sex. Sex is very good for you if you like the person you're having sex with. If you want to sustain feelings of intense romantic love, novelty, novelty, novelty. And you don't have to swing from chandeliers. Just ride your bicycles going out to
pause.
dinner, walk in a different park.
Hey, are you in the date night group? Don't swing from chandeliers.
We literally just had that.
Yeah,
Hey, how's the timing on that, right? Don't swing from the chandeliers.
But that's what I was saying.
Yet.
She's saying, you have to put energy, you have to put effort into these things, to keep this long.
That's funny. Just popped in my head.
Going.
I love that popped in my head. I had you pause it, and 3 people in the room went, "That's funny." Yeah. And I'm sorry you guys don't understand that joke. You had to be in the room. All right, go ahead.
Part of town, go on a summer vacation to someplace else. And if you want to sustain feelings of deep attachment, stay in touch. Any kind of holding hands, kissing, walking arm in arm, sitting next to each other to watch television.
You want to stay with feelings of attachment, you have to stay in touch. You have to put forth the effort. Right. Okay, continue.
Before we
go
do
ahead.
that, Isaac asks about how about jumping off dressers?
Instead of swinging from chandeliers, jumping off dressers.
No jumping off dressers.
Hey, don't yuck other people's yums. Let
All
him
right.
jump.
All right, you know what?
Let him
But-
jump.
Hey, as long as it's approved, look, I am not a doctor, so I'm not giving out any kind of exercise advice. If I tell someone to jump off a dresser and they twist an ankle, channel's not getting sued. Don't
But-
jump off of shit.
But this
I'm
is,
not
It
encouraging
could
any
be
of
an
that
IKEA bed.
nonsense.
They could be all right.
but Isaac, don't you usually have electrical outlets and plugs in some of your
Isaac's got a
dresser drawers?
fucking doctor in his house.
So
Isaac twists an ankle, he's got a doctor. It's good.
It'll be
Oh, no, wait,
interesting
no,
to see.
no. Isaac doesn't have a doctor. I was thinking Tiberius.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tiberius has a doctor.
Yeah.
Isaac,
He's got plugs in the drawers and
Yeah.
electrical outlets. So
He's
maybe
gonna
he
trip
should-
over a cord when he jumps
Yeah.
off the dresser.
Just watch for hazards. Make sure it's OSHA safe.
you know what? Hey, live on the edge, brother. Live on the edge.
Have you had a little South Nut Glaze in your drawer?
No, stop it.
No, he's already sent us the video of cleaning up the lube, which, by the way, in the new opener.
Oh Lord.
You forgot I had that, didn't you? Cleaning
It'll-
up the
it'll-
lube.
I mean, she's saying here's keeping in touch, literally touching, being near the person, and I'm wondering if it also extends to having like certain rituals or things that you do in the relationship on a regular basis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those sorts of things count.
Yeah.
Because it's work towards the relationship. Moving on.
Television instead of separate armchairs. Any kind of continued pleasant touch drives up the oxytocin system. So I think what I'm working towards here is understanding these brain circuits enough so that we can use the data to find the right person. That's number one. Understand who they are. That's number two. And sustain a long-term happy partnership. Romantic love will be with us forever. It's primordial, it's adaptable, and it's eternal. It will survive as long as we survive as a species.
Well, that's just like another 2-3 months. All right, Cole.
But it ain't all biological.
It ain't
It
all
ain't all biological. Let's get that straight.
I'm gonna
Good.
for her disagree with her just a little bit here because I have some ace and aromantic friends, and that romantic love is not really a part of their life, but they get their relationships from another source. So I'm not gonna say it doesn't have to be necessarily
Agreed.
a sexual or a romantic relationship. I was just watching a video by somebody else who said that we prioritize this romantic relationship, but the friendship relationship is just as important, and in some people it's more important.
It's more important. I can
than-
think of a friendship relationship that's a whole bunch more important than the sexual relationship.
For me, I mean, I consider myself demisexual.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally was just explaining to someone how 95% of my scenes have no sexual aspect to them whatsoever.
Right.
It doesn't mean I enjoyed any less. It's just not sexual.
Yeah.
To the definitions, they didn't describe anything oriented towards sex themselves. They just required a person's, a living being. But I also know individuals who are in love with cats. I know individuals who are in love with dogs. And they get whatever relationship items from it. But I think in this particular article, they were primarily talking about humans.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, that's where I would disagree with her just a little bit. Is that the romantic love or the sexual love doesn't have to be that, but you're going to have to find that connection with someone in a different kind of relationship if it's not a sexual or romantic relationship.
Agreed. All right. So, what do we miss? Are we good? Are we solid? You guys have anything to add? No? No. What do we miss? What do you want to add? Drop it in the chat below. Do we have anything in the comments? Anything going on? Come on. I mean, we've gone on for 40 minutes. I'm sure somebody has something in there.
Isaac was correcting me. It is in the nightstand, not the dresser. And Albie says, the wife and I use toys, porn, dirty talk, and we have had some of the best sex ever.
Outstanding. I know because I can hear it from my room on the boat, even though you're in another state because you guys are so damn noisy. No, I'm kidding. I never hear them. All right.
Anyway.
We got it already.
All right. Hey, what did we
Easy.
miss? God, guys, people are so pushy. It's like we have another show to do or anything. What do we miss? hang out with us. Thanks a lot for joining us. Hey, if you guys have like suggestions for the show, envytrist@gmail.com. You can reach out to any one of us in the ticker.
Ticker.
I love her.
All right, we're getting better. We're getting better. We're getting a lot better.
Albie says,
Yep.
our relationship has been awesome for the last couple years. We opened up to each other and told what we liked.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
What's
Hey,
that? Wait a minute. What's that word?
everybody at once.
Communication.
I love that we all do it together.
In more ways than one.
Oh, hey-oh.
I'm sorry. You know what? You left the door wide open. I had to go right through it.
Whatever. Chapin come crashing through like the Kool-Aid girl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. All right. What do we miss? Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. Make sure that you drop all your stuff in the comments. If you wanted to reach out to us with questions, envytrist@gmail.com, like we were trying to say. You can call us at the studio, 717-925-0603. Leave a message in the Gmail box. If you're an asshat, we might actually play it on the air. So if you want us to make fun of you, we'll do it. You can also reach out to us on our Twitter, also in the ticker, but barely know her.
Twitter.
Yeah, the Twitter ticker, the Twitters are in the ticker. All right, we're good. I love you guys. What else we miss? Drop it in the thing. Chapin,
Do the thing.
get us the fuck out of here.
Sal's Nut Glaze.
God damn it.
.com.
K101.
Boobies!
Yeah!